All right, folks. Some days you just have to start over again, and this is one of those days. I made a review of this airport and was complaining about how it was pretty low texture, and I wasn't real excited with the way it looked. And it turns out that, well, it was installed wrong. So you can see over here now, we actually have the correct Tacoma's narrow bridges. For those of you that watched the first review, I apologize. I hope that you see the second one, because that was a mistake. And obviously there's way more detail in this version. It makes me want to just snap sometimes. Stuff like this happens, and it's just super frustrating. This is a totally different airport than what I reviewed the other day. So I did not know it was not installed properly, but there definitely were things missing, and this is a much better. Basically what happened was the original scenery never cleared the cache. So I had both the original airport and the new airport installed at the same time, and it made everything look bad. So here we go. Let's take a look again. This time you'll notice that the airport actually lies on a hill. It's up high, and that's kind of cool. And you see there's like a definite ridge here. Before it was not like that. It was just flat. So they've raised the airport up a little bit, maybe to its proper height. You can see here the hangars are much more detailed than they were before. We've got all kinds of airplanes parked. We've got a fuel service right there. A house that wasn't there before. These hangars are totally different. These hangars are the same, those oblong ones. But look here, we have lots of cool details. Like we definitely have a the Narrows Aviation building, and we also have another Narrows Aviation building with some trucks parked out front. And we've got like a little viewing tower. None of this was here. Oh, I'm so frustrated, guys. I'm so sorry. This is much, much better. Just cool details, little picnic tables, parking lot with cars in it, like that's how it should be. Somebody has a WRX. Somebody has like a Volkswagen. These guys drive nice cars. We have pie on the fly, pizza, pasta, and pints. Man, I don't need drinking by the airport. They took out the crappy generic tower and put in the real tower from Tacoma Narrows. And we have the hub from the front. U.S. Customs. Some kind of tent, probably customs tent. Since 9/11, that's been installed. Pavco. I mean, this is all details that were not here before. Once again, I am so sorry, guys. Deep trenches along the side of the fields. Those weren't there before. That's all been changed. Big hangar complex over here. I mean, the details just go on and on. Look at all this. We have like construction going on down here. And then we move back into the generic scenery, but they've also added, of course, over there. You can see we're going to fly over there in a second in the drone. And while I'm getting some serious frame rate chop, wasn't having that before. But I've also loaded this several times. There is a, like that's all new. And then we're back into the photogrammy scenery or whatever they call it. But here, the bridges are correct. Oh my gosh, what a difference. You could actually fly underneath these now. That looks so much better. Look at that. So just a much nicer view of the Narrows and the Narrows bridges. That is how they should look. Wow. Yep. So they put a lot of effort into this, and I apologize once again. I got it all wrong. So hopefully you guys, only a few people, I only had about 100 views on the first one. Maybe 190 views. So there weren't that many people watching, but this is back to the generic scenery here. It's like a shopping mall. There's a toll booth. Yeah, that's all part of the Microsoft scenery. So that's not ORBX. But anyway, so I apologize to the manufacturer for putting that video up. I was like, man, this is not cool. This is worthwhile. This airport now is much more detailed than it was. And I would say it's definitely now worth the money. I was like, man, they really just didn't seem like they did anything. There's like not that care or attention to detail that I saw in the other airports. But this one, now it has it. So here you go, folks. This is what it was supposed to look like, and it looks great. I love the Tacoma on the runway right there so people can see it. The pilots can see it as they fly over and know where they're at. So let's go ahead and take a flight around the airport. But that, you know, like I said, once again, there's still not a ton of like surrounding area scenery. This is all the default Microsoft scenery, but just be careful because like I had, for whatever reason, it just didn't load properly and it was double loaded. So I basically uninstalled it and reinstalled it, and that fixed it. And then I had to restart the game too. So just be aware that I actually had to completely restart in order to get the airport functioning properly, because it loaded back in as double scenery again, and then I rebooted and then everything came out fine. So that's where we're at. So anyway, this is the airport as it should look. And let's go ahead and take a flight. So give me a second here to get the airplane set up and we will get flying. All right, folks, we are ready for takeoff. Here we go. Probably would help if we turned the parking brake off, because I know the pilot turned it on. Or oh, it's off. Well, kind of bamboozled myself. Rolling down the runway. This time we're at the correct airport. The details are gorgeous. This is how it should look. Sorry guys, once again, you make mistakes. I'm human, not perfect. And really doofus move, but what are you gonna do? There's the airport as it should look behind us. Wow, okay. Well, we're gonna fly around a loop here and just, you know what I do. You know the drill. There's some mountainside houses, man. Wow. I will say, when I turn the photogrammetry, whatever it is, the 3D housing off, it actually put some cool 3D like actual houses there along the shoreline, but they were generic scenery. Anyway, so there's the Tacoma Narrows bridges. You can see the toll booth off there. Once again, the toll booth is part of Microsoft. The bridges are part of ORBX. So ORBX added in those really cool bridges. Wow, we are flying fast. All right, we're gonna cut it way back. Put the flaps down a notch. Keep the nose down. We are nosing up here like crazy. So Seattle's off to our north. That's Tacoma, Washington over to the right. Mount Rainier off in the distance. Just a gorgeous place to fly. So you can see why this airport is, one, a very popular venue for local aviation, but also it's a good looking airport thanks to ORBX. Once again, glad to actually show it the way it's supposed to be, guys. Once again, I'm very sorry that that happened. Thankfully, like I said, it was only up for a day, so I only had about 100 views on the video, 120 views, 150 maybe. There weren't that many people that saw it, and the embarrassing travesty that was my video. There's the bridges, looking like they should. And the airport definitely looking good. And that's what it should look like. So that, better, much better. Once again, we're flying the Coronado, I don't know. It's like Tornado, but Coronado Ovation, which is basically an upgraded Mooney Bravo. Put our gear down. The gear are transitioning, and they're down. We're lining up for the runway. And we're a little high, so we're going to pull our throttle way back. Speed brake on. We'll turn it back off before we land, but I think on the Mooney Bravo in real life you want to keep some throttle on. You don't want the throttle to be all the way off from what I've read. Like if you throttle down, it can damage the motor or engine or whatever you want to call it. The motor. The engine. little bit low for a glide scope, but that's okay. A lot of open space in the front of the runway here. We don't want to land on the grass, but we're not going to hit anybody's house either, or a tree. And so there's the airport, looking like an airport should. That looks great. So much better than the stock scenery. I'm so embarrassed, guys. Jeepers criminy. Anyway, so I hope you guys like what you see now, and I'm sorry before. Like I said, this was my least favorite airport before, but I actually really like this. This is how it should look. So down, brakes on, flaps up, speed brakes off. And so we've safely landed at Tacoma Narrows Airport, and we are on the ground safely. But this is much, much better than it was. Gosh, guys, once again. Now, one of the viewers said that the grass is a little bit brown. Usually it's not that dry, maybe in August, but in general, it's a little bit more alive. I think they probably will, as the seasons change, we should theoretically see the grass grow and stuff like that a little bit in this game. But there we go. So we've safely landed at Tacoma Narrows, and we'll go ahead and take a look and see what this airport looks like in the evening. That'll mean our frame rates are going to decrease because I'm going to fast forward time. And that's what happens when you fast forward time. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what that looks like, and we will jump out and do a drone view here. So the weather, the time is now going to be evening. I'd like to see sunset more than just night. That looks nice. And let's go ahead and get out into the drone and fly. And I grabbed the wrong joystick, so hang on a second. All right. So there's a lot of detail in this airport, and I wasn't moving for a second. Look at all how the buildings are lit up and stuff. That looks really cool. This one especially. Paveco. We'll head down this way towards the main buildings. Hub's all lit up. People are inside having dinner. Look at that. That looks great. That's so cool. Wow, the details are just so much better than they were. Well, there are some fire trucks. Maybe they're coming out to my airplane since I landed it a little rough. Runway lights look nice and bright. Definitely brighter than default. Once again, I'm sorry about the frame rate issues. That is what happens when you advance time. I don't know why it does that, and it's super annoying, but that's how it is. And there's the Tacoma Narrows bridges with Mount Rainier in the distance. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this look. I apologize once again for having to redo it, but I think this airport is really nice and it looks great, and hopefully that gave you an opportunity to kind of see what it looks like and get a feeling for what it is. So have a great night, guys. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, voice up, and we will see you next time on Flight Simulator 2020. Bye!